The Joe Rogan Experience.
What makes you nervous about this?
All right, 3 big areas. First, humans and all of biology is incredibly complex. I mean, I talk about genetic code, which is mind-bogglingly complex. But our genetics exists within the incredibly complex systems biology. We have all these things like our microbiome, our virome, our proteome, our metabolome. And then that exists within the context of our environment, and everything's always changing and interacting. And so we are messing, and we have the tools to mess, and we will mess because we're this hubristic species with these really complex ecosystems, including ourselves, that we don't fully understand. That's number 1. 2, and you mentioned it before, this issue of equity. What happens if we have, every technology has to have first adopters. If you don't have it, you never get the technology. But what happens if a group of people move much more quickly than other people? Whether it's real or not, even if they believe it's real, you could imagine big, dangerous societal changes. And the third big area is diversity. When we think about diversity, we think, well, it's great to have diverse workplaces and schools, and we're better people for it, and we're more competitive. But diversity is something much, much, much deeper. In Darwinian terms, diversity is random mutation. Like, that's our core survival strategy as a species. If we didn't have that, you could say we'd still be single-cell organisms, but we wouldn't. We would have died because the environment would have changed, and we wouldn't have had the built-in resilience to adapt.
Yeah, that is really important when you think about diversity, right?
Yeah.
That we need a non-uniformity when it comes to our own biology.
Yeah, because
we need a bunch of different kinds of people.
we have to have it, because even if we optimize for this world, the world will change. There's no good and bad in evolution. There's just well-suited for a particular environment. If that environment changes, the best suited person for your old environment may be the least suited person for the new environment. So even if we have things that seem really great ideas now, like optimizing health. So if you have sickle cell disease, you're probably going to die, and you're going to die young, and it's going to be excruciatingly painful. And so you would say, well, let's just get rid of sickle cell disease, which we can do. But if you are a recessive carrier of the sickle cell disease gene, you don't have it, you're just carrying it, and you have a pretty significant risk of passing it on to your kids. But you also have an additional resistance to malaria. And so we are almost certainly carrying around all kinds of recessive traits, maybe even ones that we don't like that are harming us now, but that could be some protection against some future danger that we don't yet understand or haven't faced. And so the challenge is that diversity has just happened to us for 4 billion years. Now we're going to have to choose it, and that's it's a big challenge for us.
So essentially, we're going to have, without doubt, some unintended consequences, some unintended domino effect, things that are going to take place that we really can't predict. We just have to kind of go along with this technology and see where it leads us as it improves. If you go back and look at surgeries from the 1950s, comparison to surgery of 2019, giant leaps. I mean, I would never advise someone to get their knee operated by a 1950s physician.
Me neither.
Right?
Good advice. Yeah.
Right? But that's kind of, someone's going to have to be an early adopter when it comes to these genetic therapies.
Yeah, no, so I agree with you, but where I would add to what you're saying is, these technologies, they're going to happen. They're going to play out. What's at play now is not whether these technologies are going to advance. They will advance in a way that is going to just blow people's minds. What's at play is, what are the values that we are going to weave into the decision-making process so that we can get a better outcome than we otherwise would have had. And that's what, in my view, that's the important issue now.